to our main topic and possibly an entirely new subject for a new video because this is going to probably go pretty freaking long. So if you're on the audio only podcast, we're sorry for the length, but you're barely listening to this. You should look up though while you're driving because I'm sure that's what you're doing or running. Look up. Let's go to our main question, which is: has any NBA team improved in the 2022 offseason? This was the question that Alex posed to me earlier this morning. And Alex, I came up with 9 teams that improved. I ranked. Okay. I split the entire league, or I'm missing one team, and I don't know who it is. I'm sorry for that one team. So if you think
I know all the teams,
I started doing it, and I was like doing it out of order because like I was trying to go down. I was like going through all the reported signings because I wanted to be thorough. And then I like kept putting teams in different spots, and then I just completely lost.
Are you missing the Spurs? Is that the team you're missing?
No, I have San Antonio. I have San Antonio here. Okay. I don't know. I have no clue who I'm missing.
As in terms of teams I don't give a fuck about, the Spurs are pretty high on the list.
Although I did put them in the wrong category. I should put them there.
All right.
Starting off.
The reason I asked this question is I really I was thinking about it, and I didn't think that as of yet, I really don't think that anyone got better in a meaningful way. I think we swapped a lot of guys around, and mostly teams got worse. Like, guys left good teams to go to worse teams.
So I think mostly teams stayed the exact same for the most part.
Yeah, yes. For the most part, yes.
So I have 4 teams that got worse. Unambiguous. Well, okay, hold on. I have to put in the corollary here. There's a grouping here of Kevin Durant / Donovan Mitchell / Kyrie Irving limbo. Yes. That's 5 teams. So that's Miami, Utah, Phoenix, Brooklyn, Los Angeles. Miami, we're just waiting. If Miami doesn't get these players, they're in the worst category. They're in the worst category. Utah unambiguously got worse regardless of what happens, but they're involved. Phoenix, if they don't get KD, I think they stay the same, right? That's fair to say.
I mean, they literally have the exact same team, so it'd be hard to say that they didn't stay the same.
Yeah. And then I want to skip Brooklyn very quickly. The Lakers, if they don't get Kyrie, I mean, it's largely the same. I like Lonnie Walker and Thomas Bryant. If you want to put them in the improved,
it's the exact same shit they did last year.
So no change there. Brooklyn, though, if nothing happens, they got so much better. Their team,
yes,
they're so much better now.
Do you want to walk through what they did?
Yes, I do, because it was really impressive. So they get Nick Claxton. No, they bring back Nick Claxton. They bring back Kessler Edwards. They bring back Patty Mills. They bring in Edmund Sumner, General Edmund Sumner,
fresh off the Battle of Gettysburg.
He's coming in. We got T.J. Warren, who was the one guy we talked about on the podcast last time that we were like, this guy could really change things.
If you're going to take a minimum contract flyer on somebody, that's a great guy to take it on.
They also bring in Royce O'Neal for a first-round pick, 2023, which not a great move.
I don't like that move at all.
But he's a better player than whatever they had on their bench, right?
Sure.
So this team, if nothing else happens, got substantially better. I think if the players weren't so unhappy, I think you'd have to put them in the championship conversation yet again.
Yeah. On the other hand, I just saw them get swept. With Kyrie and Durant playing well, whatever you want to call that.
You haven't seen Ben Simmons, Alex.
Oh, you're right. If you just add Ben Simmons to that team, I just don't get it. Yes, I think that if I could divorce reality from their basketball reference page, yes, I agree. Unfortunately, I live in the real world, and that team's going to be a disaster, even if they all play.
I hope Ben Simmons, when he's I hope he's still playing in the league when he's 35. And I hope that's the year he starts canning threes. He can't run anywhere and just starts. He's shooting 40% from 3.
I can't wait. I cannot wait for the workout video of him hitting threes, which is coming in a month or two.
Every year. It's a tradition. It's a tradition unlike any other.
Like Kyrie not showing up for the Drew League after saying he was going to show up for the Drew League. It's so on brand. It's so funny that I think it almost has to be intentional.
He might be. I don't know. I think he does things and then he pretends they're intentional in his head.
Oh, he definitely does. Yes.
I know a guy that's like Kyrie. I've told you about this guy. I can't stand him. I can't stand him. Assuming nothing happens though, Brooklyn got much better. I'm assuming they're going to trade Kevin Durant because he's already demanded the trade.
He asked for a trade, yeah.
And they're going to trade Kyrie Irving because he's kind of already demanded the trade as well with his actions. I think. But if they don't, great offseason for them. a offseason at the moment. All right, let's talk about the teams. The no change category for me. All right, I got Chicago and Cleveland. They didn't change anything at all. I guess
the Cavs brought back Ricky Rubio. I mean, it's a change from the end of the year. Yeah, that's fair. They brought in backup point guards and a backup center.
I think they're going to be somewhere close to where they were when they had Ricky Rubio playing on the team.
It's going to come down to whether their draft pick pans out. Like if their draft pick's really good, they'll be much better. If their draft pick's only okay, they'll probably be the same team.
And they're a team that's like 2 years away still.
Sure.
Well, I think they're probably 1 year away. Well,
it depends, right? Yeah. We'll see what Mobley does. Like Mobley had like the best rookie year of anyone I've seen in a very long
time. Chicago didn't do anything of note. I mean, they added Goran Dragic and Andre Drummond, but there's nothing. All right, moving on. Here's maybe one that you have a bone to pick with. I don't think Denver changed. Like Will Barton and Monte Morris, they were good players, but they bring in Bruce Brown. I think he's better than either of them. And hopefully they don't need as much guard help because Jamal Murray's healthy. So I think it's kind of a wash. And I think they'll be even.
I really like what they did.
You did?
Yeah. I think that adding KCP and Bruce Brown just for
about
defensive
KCP.
Intensity. I think that is such a – they have not had players like that with Jokic, like ever. I think like raw value wise or raw talent wise, I think they're about the same. I just think these guys are so much better fits than the guys they had.
You know what? They're going into the improved category. They're going into the improved category as my headphone goes out.
Obviously it all like they'll improve if they're two of the three best players come back and are healthy.
I'm sure it sounds good.
Yep. You just keep fixing that mic.
I mean, these are $20 headphones from Best Buy.
Why are you using them?
I mean, because my good headphones are so hard to use, man. I'm just like, whatever, this is fine. I forgot about them getting Ish Smith and KCP in that trade, though. That puts them in the improved category. I mean, is that what you said?
Basically, what I said is like, obviously they'll improve if two of the three best players aren't hurt and out for the year.
That's a big deal.
So they'll be a lot better if those two guys play instead of.
But just because of what they did in the offseason,
I think that their move. I think talent-wise, like raw talent-wise, they are essentially the same, but they're so much better fits that I think I like them a lot better.
They're in the improved category. I think we agree there.
Bruce Brown is awesome. I can't think of a better guy for him to play with than Jokic.
Improved. Denver. First team in the improved category. Fair enough?
Yeah. You've convinced me. I've convinced me.
You've convinced yourself. All
right, I didn't think anyone improved, but I was wrong, damn it.
Let's go Pistons, Rockets, Oklahoma City. Those are in the no change category, assuming we're not going to count the rookies. I mean, I like what they did. I like all three of their drafts and what they did, and I think it's cool, but I don't think we're going to count the rookies or changing their fortunes because they want to be better.
Yeah, we don't know yet, right?
Yeah. Memphis, no change. Did they change anything? They changed nothing. Okay.
No.
So cool.
They brought back Tyus Jones.
Memphis, no change. Milwaukee, I would say no change. Did they get Ingles? But I don't think he's going to be a game changer.
I mean, he literally can't even play until halfway through the year, I think.
That is true. But they're looking for the playoffs.
They took swings that I think might help them, but probably won't help them.
Yeah, who else? I mean, so they signed.
They paid Pat Connaughton.
Yeah. Brought back Wesley Matthews, Portis, Ibaka, Carter. They won the championship. I'm not sure how much they care, but I don't think they change.
No, I don't either.
Okay. New Orleans.
They signed one guy who might help them.
Yeah. And not even for most of the season.
Right.
New Orleans. did not change anything.
They might get this guy called Zion Williamson back, but
that would be a grand improvement.
Isn't it weird that like all of these teams are like, hey, when they get their best players back, they might be better?
Kind of sucks that we have to go through all of this with all of them. Orlando did not change anything, assuming we're not
other than draft, of course. Yeah.
And that's fine. Toronto, they pick up Otto Porter.
Yes.
They bring back pretty much everyone else. I don't see a big difference
as close to doing nothing as like you can while adding a rotation player.
It's a nice play. It doesn't change their fortune. I think they're going to be what they're going to be unless they trade for Kevin Durant. Although maybe I should put them in the Kevin Durant. Although we don't know that they're in the Kevin Durant sweepstakes. I don't know.
It feels like they are.
They must be. So that's it. That's my 10 teams that did not change. Chicago, Cleveland, Detroit, Houston, Oklahoma City, Memphis, Milwaukee, New Orleans, Orlando, Toronto. That's the biggest group there. I took Denver out because Denver improved, as we discussed. Let's say that I have 4 teams that got worse.
Okay.
Dallas, Golden State, Indiana, San Antonio. Miami will be in here if they do not get one of those other players. So those are my 5 teams.
I think I agree.
Indiana, I mean,
Golden State's the only one I was like, but it's like, no, they lost 2 of their top 7 rotation guys. Yeah. Like they are hoping that their young guys improve and take those roles, which is a fair bet. But as of right now, I think they got worse.
Well, and Dante DiVincenzo could fill in. He's just not as good defensively as Gary Payton II. So
no, he also hasn't been good in 2 years.
Yeah. So I think I'm sure though he's gonna have a bounce back year. He's gonna be sure.
I mean, you're never gonna be in a better situation than Golden State, right?
So there's that. Indiana, obviously, they lost Malcolm Brogdon. I don't know if that makes them any worse. He didn't do that much for the last.
He doesn't play.
He doesn't play. So I don't think he substantially changes things for them. I think he made substantially change things for Boston, but we'll get to them in just a second. And San Antonio, obviously, they traded DeJounte Murray to be worse, and they got worse. So good job, congratulations.
Good work, San
Antonio. Great stuff from San Antonio. I guess the Pistons technically got worse because they trade Jeremy Grant, but I don't care.
Yeah, no, that should count though. Like they traded away like one of their best players.
So outside of my one mystery team that I do not know who they are, so if I don't know who the hell this team is,
I'm gonna try. I've been trying to guess the whole. I'm trying to make a list in my head.
I'm trying to do it in my head too, and I cannot figure it out. I have 10 teams that improved. 10 teams that improved. Let's start with the bottom. Team I don't think improved that much, but improved slightly. Washington. I think the Wizards improved. I think Monte Morris is better for them than Ish Smith will be.
Yeah, I guess.
I think Will Barton is better for them than KCP will be because he was deeply unhappy in Washington. And they got Kristaps Porzingis, who I'm going to count as an offseason acquisition because he didn't play for them at all last year. And they have a newly refound commitment to one Mr. Bradley Beal. They renewed their vows with Bradley Beal. And Delon Wright.
That always works.
Delon Wright's the other guy. Is it fair to say that Washington got a little bit better? I feel more confident that they will make the
only one I'm really counting is like this. They have like a better point guard situation. So I think they are very slightly marginally better.
I think they will make the play-in. No, they won't.
You think they're going to finish in the top 10 in the East? They might. Like, it is possible. I would say possible, but unlikely that they finish in the top 10. They strike me as an 11th seed.
Yeah, they'd have to jump the Hornets. They might jump the Hornets.
They might.
I can see a Clifford thing just
like if the Hornets don't replace Bridges, they would be meaningfully worse, right?
It would be. It would have to be because other teams kind of fail. But I think it pushes them from the 12.
That's a fair bet. People get hurt every year, right?
They may push them from the 12 spot to the 11th spot in a vacuum.
Hey.
And that, my friends, is called improvement that you sell to your fans. All right. So Washington, right there. New York also got better. Obviously, adding Jalen Brunson. He's a real point guard, and he's a big upgrade. Isaiah Hartenstein's girlfriend, really hot.
I forgot they got Hartenstein. I really like Hartenstein.
Oh, yeah, I like him too. He's a good player.
Cavs had him for 2 months and just didn't care. And I was like, this guy's good. And they let him go. It's just fine. We drafted Mobley, whatever. But it just bums me out. I'm like, I was right. He was good.
I'm looking forward to the content because he shows up in her TikToks sometimes.
Oh, okay. All right.
And she's actually pretty funny. She doesn't just do the hot girl shit. But I'm looking forward because he's extremely awkward in all of these. So good for him. I'm glad he's in New York. Good for them. And I think they got better. That in a vacuum pushes them from the 11th seed, which they were, into a deeper play-in run.
Play-in run. 2-game play-in run.
You gotta get the second game, man. And they could get that second game at home, Alex. It's a big deal. The gate receipts.
MSG, baby.
MSG, and that would
the
mean
home
that
of play-in basketball.
That means
the mecca of play-in basketball.
That would mean they're the 8th seed, right? Oh no. It's 7 and 8. 7 and 8 play for the first, so they would have to be
Correct.
They would have to be the 8th.
They'd have to be the 8th seed, and they'd have to lose, and then
it could be the 7th seed and lose in the first playing game. 2 playing games. We're going play and run. The Clippers. Why did I say the Clippers got better?
John Wall.
Oh yeah, John Wall. Yeah, that's a good move. I like John Wall.
I don't know that they got better. They will get better because again, their 2 best players are coming back from injury.
I'm gonna pin that all on John Wall when they
John Wall.
The John Wall acquisition.
Wow, 9 seed to the 1 seed.
They did get better though. I think
that losing Hartenstein's about the same as gaining John Wall. I'll be totally honest.
I don't know. I still have a just smidge of belief that John Wall's still John Wall. Not still 100% John Wall.
That ever burned anybody? I mean,
he had a great time in Washington until he suffered 2 back-to-back devastating injuries.
Horrible injuries
in the same calendar year. Everything was awesome for the most part.
I think he'll be fine. I just don't think I think the downside risk is higher than the upside risk. How about that?
I disagree. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but I disagree. I think the upside risk the upside gain is great because
I guess I trust Ty Lue to make the right decision. Yeah. Weirdly,
I definitely trust. I don't think Ty Lue's going to play him just to play him. I don't think he's going to do that for Reggie Jackson.
Not in the playoffs, certainly.
Yeah, and so I think that makes it better. Okay, so that's a third team here in the improved category. Philadelphia, unambiguously improved. I think they may have improved the most. DeAndre Melton, PJ Tucker.
D'Anthony Melton.
Is that his name? What I said, DeAndre?
You said DeAndre. Yeah.
Oh.
I was like, did they bring DeAndre Jordan back again? No, he's on the Nuggets.
Yeah, he did end up with the Nuggets, which is one of the reasons I did not have Denver in my improved category. Now
that's fair. But Jokic is going to play 48 minutes a game for them, or they're going to lose. That's just how it is.
It's fine. So they got Melton, Tucker, and House, and Daniel House. Danuel House. Danwell House. fake Hispanic.
You're frozen on my end. There you are.
Yeah, okay. You have not been frozen.
Okay. Danwell House.
Danwell House.
Super reliable guy. I mean, really a guy you want in the trenches with you.
He had one slip on. What did he do?
He slept with the nurse who was doing the swabs in the bubble, and he got kicked out of the bubble during their playoff series.
Forgot about that. Don't think that situation is going to arise again. Now he can sleep with all of the nurses, and it's not a problem whatsoever.
It's fine. It's totally fine.
Well, James Harden's such a leader that I think he'll be able to just really coalesce those. I mean, we've never seen him fail with this group of people before. No, but they definitely got much better. I mean, just getting PJ Tucker, that may be the biggest swing in the offseason. So
everyone's so high on this that I almost feel compelled to go the other way. But it's like Daniel House was available for anyone to sign, was a backup free agent who didn't play in the playoffs last year for a team that desperately needed help. Whether you want to say that was just a bad coaching decision or not, awesome. Where does PJ Tucker play on this team? Is he the 3? Is he the 4? Is he
he's
starting?
the 4. He's the 4. Tobias Harris.
Is he their backup center?
He's all of
I
those
like
things,
PJ Tucker
Alex.
a lot. Yeah, right. Exactly. It's okay, so 37-year-old PJ Tucker is doing all these things for you?
In fairness, he did do it last year for the Heat.
He absolutely did. But the wheels have to come off at some point, right?
Yeah. I just want to. I think it's a huge swing. Also, taking him away from the Heat is a big deal. The team they lost to in the playoffs last year.
I totally agree with that. I think that they made good moves. I think they made the best moves they could make with their limited ammunition. And I still don't believe in the team. I'll put it that way.
I don't believe in the team because I don't believe in James Harden. But I do. I think they
added better role players. I think you're probably right.
This is absolutely the best shot that James Harden's going to have for the rest of his career.
Yes.
I think that much is clear. Maybe not Joel, but maybe Joel. This may be his best shot, but this is absolutely the best team.
Whatever other team he goes to will have it better.
Yeah.
Sorry, Philly fans.
So Philly, I think unambiguously got better. Can we agree there?
Sure.
You don't agree on the Clippers. That's the one you don't agree with.
I don't agree on the Clippers. I think they're basically exactly where they, assuming their guys are healthy, are where they were, where I would have pegged them were their guys healthy last year.
I have Sacramento in the good pile. Ugh. Getting 2 live bodies, man. Malik Monk and Kevin Huerter.
Oh God!
I mean, that's better than what they. I know we're not counting draft picks, but Keegan Murray's like 28. So
I really like Keegan Murray. I think he's going to help them a lot. But
I think he's going to help them a lot.
We're not counting draft picks. So.
That's fair. We're not counting draft picks. But I think that's I think they got substantially better with just Kevin Huerter and Malik Monk. I mean, like this team didn't have any other. Who was their backup to last year?
It was Dante DiVincenzo.
All right.
I would say it's pretty similar to Kevin Huerter.
I just went to their stats to make sure I was saying their minutes right. And pulled up the playoff stats. And I'm like, that's hilarious. Why would you ever go immediately? Why would it default to the playoff stats for the one team that has not been
18 years?
No one looking at these stats remembers when this team made the playoffs.
That's a deeply like the least server space used up by any sports team. Sacramento Kings playoff stats.
It defaulted to that. Yeah, I think they get better, man. They played like 45 players last year. God, they were so bad.
I mean, here's the thing. Last year they had Buddy Hield and Buddy Hield playing those Malik Monk minutes at the beginning of the year, right?
Yeah.
Like,
and they still weren't good.
They're the same, man. They're the same.
Yeah, they might be the same.
In fact, I have a hard time thinking of any team that is more the same than they are.
I guess they
really added Sabonis at the trade deadline. If you want
to, I'm excited for Keegan Murray, so maybe I let that like color me.
I think that is actually the like.
No,
like I put an asterisk on this one. Like I actually really like him as a rookie. Like he looked awesome at Summer League, and if it weren't the Kings, I think everyone would be really, really high on him.
Yeah, but he's also older. I think that's everyone like shies away from it. But again,
he is. But like he plays such a valuable position, and he does such valuable things.
And he's refined. He can come in and help, unlike these other guys who probably can't. But we can't include that because it's my own stupid rule. So what's the saying? Hoisted myself by my own petard.
Yes.
No, I done did that. Portland got better. Jeremy Grant will be great if he's not pouty. Gary Payton second's great fit.
I think they got better just because they were so terrible last year.
Yeah. And they'll be better with their best player. And we can pin that all on Anthony Simons, I guess. Yeah, they'll be in the plan. Yeah, maybe good for them. No, they will. They will.
They have the same problem as these other teams in the East we're talking about, where it's like, man, I don't know. There's like 8 really reliably good teams in the West.
Well, are the Lakers reliably good? Because they just need a hop. Like the Spurs are falling out of it. Man, okay,
Pelicans will be better.
No, everyone else is going to
think about how many teams are getting their best players back. Like
they're going to have to beat out the Lakers, which is hilarious. So we can even consider this. Let's take a step back.
Like, I think the Timberwolves the team you forgot.
No, I saw the Timberwolves because the top 7's really good. The top 7's all really good, and they're all coming back. The Pelicans are going to be hopefully better. The Clippers are obviously going to be much better. The Spurs are going to be worse. And then it's just about the Lakers and the Blazers and the Kings.
Ugh.
Man, what a fucking fall from grace for the Lakers that we were talking about them
won
in the
title.
same breath as the Blazers and the Kings, man. What happened? What happened to you guys?
When your best player is, 37 years old, and when you trade for Russell Westbrook, this is what happens.
Oh, God. Man, that hit me like a ton of bricks. All right, good. Portland improved. All right, now we're getting into the category of teams I think like really improved.
Like obviously got better.
Yeah, Minnesota first and foremost. I think
as a regular season team, I cannot argue with you.
Like, and as a playoff team, I think they got better as a playoff team. They weren't that good as a playoff team to begin.
I think they're about the same. Like we'll see, but I think they're about the same.
They at least didn't hurt themselves in the playoffs. Like I think other teams may have if they got Rudy Gobert. They'll have to change anything.
Fair enough. They're going to change quite a bit in terms of where the hell they're putting their players on the court.
Just zone it up, baby.
Zone it up.
We're playing zone.
Like they're going to have to change their entire defensive plan. I mean, like obviously that's why you get Rudy Gobert, but I am very intrigued to watch them. I think there's a non-zero chance that it could be a dumpster fire immediately. Like
I don't think it will though.
I don't think it will be, but I think that is a possibility, and that would be so fucking funny.
Do you think what is more likely? At some point, we're going to believe that the Minnesota Timberwolves are going to win the West, or at some point, we're going to believe that the Minnesota Timberwolves are not making the playoffs.
Definitely not making the playoffs is more likely. Like,
yeah, I could see them winning the West though. Just like
I could see them having the number one seed.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm sorry, not winning the West, the West regular season crown.
Yes,
having the one seed. I can see that.
That's like if all their guys stay healthy, and other teams don't, and they really push for it. Like I could see it.
Yeah, I think but they got substantially better regardless. I mean, Rudy Gobert is such an addition to their defense, and I think they'll be able to manage the rest of the stuff.
I can't think of like an up and coming team that I am going to root against more. I just Anthony don't Edwards. Like what they do. I don't love him as much as everyone else. He's fun.
Have you seen Hustle?
No, but I'm going to.
You gotta watch Hustle. That's a great movie, and he's an excellent actor. He's not acting.
I like him a lot. I think being on the Timberwolves is really like. I can't believe in him.
They're also owned by A-Rod, which kind of. She cast a pall over all of this, just knowing we're kind of, and it's like that's the exact worst guy to be talking to Karl Anthony Towns on a daily basis. Like, if they're of all the athletes in the world, Alex Rodriguez is bottom of the list of people I want mentoring Karl Anthony Towns. But I think it's going to work out in the regular season for them. Suffice to say, despite all of our complaints, is talking for an hour and 20 minutes not the best idea post-COVID?
It turns out it's not so great.
During COVID, at least you brought all your symptoms to the top.
Yeah, exactly. It's confident and all out.
Boston, I think unambiguously improved. Danilo Gallinari, Malcolm Brogdon got better. Obviously, they did win the East last year, so it's hard to get much better. But I think their roster is more talented.
I think they took a swing. They have more guys who can play now. I'm not sure that like their ceiling is any higher than it was.
It can't be because I think they got absolutely to the maximum point that they could last year.
I think the weird part is for me, it's like you used this on, I mean, like maybe it's just the best guy they could get, but I think Malcolm Brogdon is pretty duplicative of the other player that they used their other first round pick on in Derek White. Like you've tried this and I don't know why you're trying the exact same thing again.
I think they're different enough that it provides you with a different option just because I think Malcolm's can play more of an off-ball role and be better at that than Derek White can. And I think Derek White, I think both these guys are, one of them's going to be injured or like just completely out of it. And the other one's, and that's what we need. Cause I think
taking another swing at it is a good move. I'm just not sure that like meaningfully it's insurance at the worst case.
But I think that's all they need.
Their roster is better. Like they had 6 guys in the roster who like literally could not play even if they had to last year. So
I think Gallo is sneakily a good addition if he can.
I think Gallo will help him in very particular matchups, like where he doesn't get played off the floor defensively.
But when you're so good, I think those little changes can make a big difference for you.
Oh yeah, it's similar to like the Warriors bringing in Otto Porter, right? Yeah. Like they can have Otto Porter because they have this foundation they can put him in.
So Boston got better and Atlanta got better. DeJounte Murray makes them a substantially better team, in my opinion. I think he's going to, I mean, they are really bad. So bad when Trae Young sits on offense. And they're so bad defensively at all times, regardless of who's playing. And he helps both those things.
I think the defense point, I agree. I kind of think that it's going to be similar to like the James Harden problem or like the Luka problem. It's just like when that guy's off the court, your offense is just going to not look good no matter what. Maybe it looks less bad. Maybe that's enough. Maybe you just need to be like not abysmal in those minutes. But I tend to think if you have like a heliocentric guard like that, when that guy is, or hell, even like I remember like the LeBron minutes in Cleveland the second time. Like every time he was off the floor, the offense just fell apart, even with Kyrie and Kevin Love out there. Like it just, because they play one way all the time, unless you're playing exactly that way, like it just, the guys don't make sense anymore. I do think they got better. I do. Yeah. I'll give you that. I think they got. I think that like if you told them all these other players were available for what they traded for DeJounte Murray, they might have wanted to trade it for someone else. But
yeah, I would have rather. Well, no, I think DeJounte's probably the best fit there, to be honest. I don't know. They are
all of their stuff were not locked up now. Like they could put together a pretty interesting Kevin Durant package.
Oh, that's true. That'd be nice.
Like, and none of their players are like. I think if they had all of their picks and they could just be like anyone but Trae Young, take anyone but Trae Young, you have a pretty interesting. You can have a pretty interesting combination of what's left.
Yeah, I just don't think that team is still that good. Like, I don't think the team's that good. It'd be the team we saw get swept by the Celtics in the.
Yeah, probably, but I don't know. I thought it'd be interesting. Like,
it would be
they have more of the kind of guys that the Nets seem to want. Right?
Yeah. No, it's true. I just don't. I think how much did they trade for DeJounte? It was 3 first-rounders.
Yeah,
it's gonna be like 8 first-rounders for Kevin Durant or some insane number like that.
It feels like it's gonna be 4 picks, 4 swaps, because that's like the most anyone can really do.
Most of that any contender can do.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah. I still like it though. I just
think it's gonna get them back to like where they were compared to the rest of the East, and like I don't know. We'll see.
We won't do power rankings yet, but I think it makes them substantially better. And I think so. I think
it's a really big swing to hit a single.
I don't know if it's. I think it could be more than that. I think it could substantially, because like DeJounte. I think DeJounte's defense is actually a little overrated. I think he's just going to cause enough turnovers and be enough of a pest.
Yeah, I think it's overrated too, but he just does stuff they didn't have.
And I think offensively, he's actually a little underrated. Like he's really good offensively. And I think he can't be the heliocentric guard that Young can, but I think he can be someone who can really, really improve them in those minutes that he's not there. And like, if they're better in those minutes, that means it's going to make a huge difference because they are absolute trash without Young.
They're so bad without Young right now.
They can't do anything. So I think it's going to require some creativity. As we all know, Nate McMillan, just the super creative coach. And then I saw my homie Nate.
You forgot the Magic.
No, the Magic are on my list, man.
You were so.
Did we talk about Indiana? Yeah, we did.
No.
That's what I've been looking for here. I don't know who I didn't talk about. Talk about the Heat. Maybe
I think you didn't include the Jazz because you had that 4 teams in the Jazz Mitchell thing.
So here's what's going on. All right, I have 10 teams in the improved category. Let's go over the improved category.
Okay.
We agree on Denver. Do we agree on Atlanta?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just gonna say a team name. Tell me.
Reluctant, yes.
Boston.
Yes.
Minnesota.
Yes.
Portland.
Yeah, I guess.
Sacramento.
No, I do not agree.
Philadelphia.
Yeah, I agree.
Clippers.
Yes. No, I didn't agree. I didn't agree.
No. Yeah, you said no.
On the parameters we set up, I didn't agree.
New York.
Yeah.
And Washington.
Didn't agree.
Okay. Didn't agree.
No, I do. I do agree because their point guard situation was just so bad that by default I have to agree it's better.
They did lose their best point guard since John Wall left in Ish Smith.
And Howell Neto.
So that's 10. That's 10 teams. Okay. Got 5 teams here. Miami, Utah, Phoenix, and Brooklyn. Miami, Utah, Phoenix, Brooklyn, LA. So we're up to 15.
Holding pattern.
Yeah, holding pattern. 15. I have 10 teams in this next year. Chicago, Cleveland, Houston, Oklahoma City, Memphis, Milwaukee, New Orleans, Orlando, Toronto. That brings us up to 25 teams.
Okay.
In my last year.
I think I know who it is, but keep going.
My last year of 4 teams got worse. Dallas, Golden State, Indiana, San Antonio.
The Rockets.
No, I mentioned the Rockets. I just said Houston.
Oh, damn it.
Oh, who the hell is missing? Are there only 29 teams in this league?
I think this is really funny because like I'm not looking at the list. I feel like if I had the list, I could do it.
Here,
I don't know how you're not doing it without the list.
I'm looking at the list of teams too in the NBA. A league that I could. No, I think I have Toronto. Here, I'm gonna send you a link. I'm just gonna
I think I have Toronto. This is such a stupid thing to not be able to figure out.
Follow the podcast. Subscribe to the thing. I'm sorry for anybody that's
I must get an answer now, but that's the thing.
Okay, I just sent it to you. I just sent it to you in the chat.
I'm looking. So, where do you think Kevin Durant will go while I'm looking?
I don't care. I want to figure out what fucking team I'm missing.
Care?
I don't fucking care. This is so much more important to me. This is so much more important to me right now to figure out what team is not on this list, or if I'm just counting wrong.
maybe you're counting wrong.
No, I have it numbered. For this specific purpose, I have it numbered. I don't know, man. The Heat. No, I have Chicago. Oh my God, this is terrible radio. I think.
Who is it? Which team?
I don't know who it is. There's 29 teams in the league, man. That's it. That's the answer. We've been bamboozled.
29 teams.
We've been bamboozled.
That's who got worse. The team that disappeared.
Dude, the team that got contracted. I literally have every team, man. There's not a team missing. I must be miscounting. I
just counted them manually, and there's only 29.
There's only 29. This is infuriating. All right, that's it. That's the end of the podcast.
That's it. That's the end. We'll never know.
Kevin Durant's gonna go to Miami. I think the Heat are gonna get it done.
Yeah, speaking into existence, I like it.
I think the Heat are gonna get it done. Who in this situation of complete silence? I will bet on the Miami Heat. Also, this happened. And if some of you are like, what the hell? Why are they talking about Kevin Durant? That was happening in the last video. Just go watch the last video. Because I'm going to cut this up.
Did you put Charlotte on here?
Did I not put Charlotte on here?
I don't see Charlotte on here.
I didn't put Charlotte!
I did it!
Oh,
I can name 30 things, including a team that we spent a lot of time talking about.
A lot of time talking about Charlotte, who got unambiguously worse. Mainly because of the police.
Because of the police.
Because of the justice system. Also, okay, that's not you're the thing that you're an ibex on here, and it kind of just looks like a vagina in Google Docs. Do you see what I'm talking about? Or no, do you not see it?
Yes, I can see it.
You're an anonymous ibex, and it just looks exactly like a vagina. That's all for us, folks.
Anonymous ibex is a good like screen name.
That's all, folks. We'll talk to you soon.